Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, this is Jack Sputnik here with my son Timmy. And what is the most anticipated camera of 2022? Canon? Let's think about it. Okay, while Timmy is thinking, let me start my list of the most anticipated cameras of 2022. So first on the list, and I think this is the most anticipated camera, at least by me, it's Canon RP Mark II. And you might be thinking, hey, why don't you mention some more, high-end camera like Canon EOS R1, for example? And this is on the list. However, RP is a super popular camera since it's a budget-friendly full-frame camera. Thank you, Timmy. Since it's a budget-friendly full-frame camera. And what do we expect? In my case, in my opinion, there are three main adjustments I would expect from this camera, which is already great for the money. Would be like newer sensor with better low light performance and better, of course, dynamic range. Second thing, better autofocus specifically for videographers. And third thing, when we talk about video, we would expect as photographers, videographers, no crop factor at all. Like this is 2022, those cameras shouldn't have crop factor, or at least in 24 and 30p, 4K, no crop factor. Okay, if they want to introduce 60p like in 4K, which I don't think will happen in entry-level camera, but if then crop factor is totally okay. Sony A7 Mark IV does have it, so Canon RP Mark II probably will have it too, if they introduce 4K and 60p. Second camera on the list would be Canon EOS R1, so high-end camera, like mirrorless camera from Canon. I would really love to see what they will introduce since R3 is such a beast. It's an amazing camera. So R1, if it's even faster, even better, even more durable, even more tank-like camera, I would love to see that in 2022. Okay, this is it for Canon. When it comes to Sony, actually they just released Sony A7 Mark IV, they released FX3, A7S3, which is, those cameras are just awesome. They just have A1, so I think that realistically what we can expect, if we can expect that this year, would be Sony A7R Mark V. Or am I lost? Yeah, Mark V, yeah. So, this high-resolution camera that would, give us both the ability to produce super high-resolution images and some high-end video specs. I would love to see that. However, having said that, I feel like there's still room for some hybrid shooter that could, introduce both amazing specs for videographers and amazing specs for photographers. So I would love to see an upgrade to A7S3, which gives you an ability to shoot stills at 24 megapixels instead of 12 megapixels. That would be an amazing thing. However, that won't probably happen, so probably what we will see this year, correct me if I'm wrong, will be A7R Mark V. And of course, when we are talking about Sony, a camera that I would love to see is new APS-C, like new crop sensor camera that would be, image stabilized, that would introduce maybe 6K or 8K video, and some new cooling systems that would give video shooters this ability to shoot basically forever, and that would be amazing. So some upgrades to A6600, which is already an awesome camera, would be warmly welcome. And for example, 4K 120p wouldn't hurt without crop factor. That would be perfect. And come on, Sony guys, no rolling shutter, please. A7S3, you proved it, you can do it. So in any new camera, in the lineup, in Sony lineup, I would love to see no rolling shutter. Okay, let's move on. A lot of you guys may think that Micro Four Thirds system is dead. However, I feel like Micro Four system is not dead. There's still room for Micro Four system there. And though Olympus, is not there anymore, you have OM digital solutions, and you still have Panasonic that is kind of switching to full frame. However, I mentioned Panasonic, so let's stick to Panasonic. And later we'll come back to Olympus. So we are waiting for GH6. GH4, GH5, those are legendary cameras that kind of, you know, like changed the market of videographers. They were like designed for videographers, designed to give amazing features because of a smaller sensor. Back in the days where, like, you know, this cooling technology was not that good. Processing power was not there yet. Micro Four Thirds was a great solution. Some people may think, okay, but now we have great cooling solutions. We have, you know, larger sensors. We have better, you know, image sensors. You know, better chips, and that should be okay, right? So why Micro Four Thirds? So I believe there's still room for GH6 on the market because, like, if they will introduce some amazing specs like 6K, 8K, like, you know, and give it like at a reasonable price level, maybe shrink the camera a little bit, then GH6 would still be a great option. What I would love to see from Panasonic though is, like, back in the days I had Panasonic GM1, which I loved. I took it to Kilimanjaro and it was a great camera. So I would love to see a high-end spec, maybe not high-end spec, but like really nicely spec'd Micro Four Thirds, small, compact travel camera with interchangeable lens, of course, lenses, and that would be an awesome thing. I don't think it's very much probable they will do that, but let's wait and see. GH6 is already announced and it's on the way. We know that there are some killer specs coming in that camera, so hopefully it will be a great camera. So now let's move to Olympus. Well, not Olympus, OM Digital Solutions, you know. However, the name is right now, so OM. They just announced a new camera that will be coming out in February that is supposed to be a killer. So if they price it well, if it's not too heavy, offers like great autofocus. However, like Olympus, when it was Olympus, offered already like amazing autofocus, great image stabilization. And basically what I think will happen with Olympus is that they will probably buy, you know, sensors from Sony, and Sony just announced that they have new technology that can gain twice more light than the previous technology. So it's a stacked sensor, and this is an amazing technology that can revolutionize the market of small sensors. So Micro Four Thirds, if you know, they introduce those new Sony sensors that can get twice as much light, that will be amazing. So basically, less noise, more dynamic range, so all the pain of Micro Four Thirds might be gone. The only thing that I'm worried about if they will still give this, you know, digital look. We will see. However, it seems like there's still room for that system on the market, and I hope that, of course, we will see some smartphones, photography-oriented smartphones that will use those sensors and will finally offer some really good quality in smartphones. Now, let's move to Nikon. So honestly, like, I feel like Nikon does have a lot of good cameras out there in the market. I had, like, you know, huge video on Nikon Z5, Nikon Z6 Mark II, and I love those cameras. However, I still feel like they don't have anything that could compete honestly with R5 or A7 Mark IV or A7S3 or A1. So I would expect Nikon to release something like Z6 Mark III that is not, well, Z9 can be equivalent of A1, so forgive me all the Nikon shooters there, and R3 probably. However, coming back, like, I would love to see something that is reasonably priced, not, you know, high-end, however, give us more video capabilities, give us more dynamic range, better low ISO performance. So what I would basically want to see from Nikon is some new sensor that can allow us to reduce rolling shutter, reduce noise, because those are the problems with Nikon. For me, like, low light performance is not great compared to competition. I would love to see some improvements when it comes to autofocus system. However, this one is already great. So I hope to see something maybe like Z5 Mark II or Z6 Mark III, something reasonably priced but upgraded from the previous models, definitely. And they are introducing, let me see, they are thinking of releasing a Z30. Z30 is an APS-C camera, so I love to see that happening. Sony has been doing this for long years now. One mount, one lens system for all APS-C cameras and full-frame cameras. So Canon is doing the same. They are ditching, this M system and switching to R system. So like APS-C cameras and full-frame cameras will use the same mount, and same for Nikon. They will they're thinking of releasing new APS-C crop sensor camera. So this is my expectations from Nikon for this year. And finally, but I was never big about Fuji. I love those cameras. I tested some of those cameras. I did reviews of some of older Fuji cameras, but I'm not really into that system. However, having said that, Fujifilm XH2 is coming, so new flagship is on the way, and there are some super high expectations, most probably. So in my opinion, what I would love to see from Fujifilm XH2 would be improved autofocus. That would be great to see in new Fuji lineup generally, because this was, in my opinion, main pain with those cameras, and some new lenses in a lineup that have this new autofocus system, no breathing, no sounds, no this mechanical thing going on. Fuji users know very well that old Fuji lenses were not best when it came to video and autofocus. So this is what I expect from Fuji. And one bonus is this upcoming thing, which is Alice camera. How to pronounce it? Alice camera. You know what I mean? There's this thing on the Kickstarter, something that you can attach. It's a funny camera that you can attach to your smartphone. It's a Micro Four Thirds camera, and basically you can use beautiful screen of your phone. Those screens are honestly better than those that you find in some of the high-end cameras, mirrorless cameras right now, and this is just ridiculous. I think that should change soon, but anyways. So basically you can use, beautiful screens of your phone with, large screens of your phone with all these touch responsive menus, and control this camera. However, you attach Alice camera, this is how you pronounce it, Alice camera, to your smartphone, and you can get some way better results with way bigger sensor that you can find in any camera, in any smartphone right now, at least. I don't know of any smartphone that would offer Micro Four Thirds. If you know about one, please don't forget to comment below. And when we are talking about commenting below, this is once again Jack Sputnik. And please don't forget to leave thumbs up, comment what cameras are you expecting to see in 2022, and please don't forget to, did I mention subscribe? Did I mention leave thumbs up? If I did, see you in the next one.